So what is up, everyone? Today is Friday, January 9th. I will be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. So coming into the session for my bias, honestly, I want to say I'm bearish. Unless we start reacting up like really, like let's say we hit London lows maybe, react off that, or like react like strongly off Asia. But overall, I'd say I'm bearish. So like, the reason why I say I'm bearish, I feel like the daily looks a little bullish, but I feel like the 4-hour is what really makes me so bearish today, right? Yeah, honestly, now that I'm seeing this right now, I'm definitely bearish. Nah, I'm bearish. Cause so on the 4-hour, right, we have this 4-hour gap up here. We have this high up here. We swept out this high, and you see how strongly we're reacting off of this? Like, if we keep pushing down, like I feel like just look at this 4-hour candle. I feel like you don't want to fade this. Like, until we get some serious confirmation of a shift in structure, I don't think I want to look for longs. Samuel says, good morning. Good morning, Samuel. How are you? SJ says, hey, Tim. What's good, brother? Hey, SJ. How are you, bro? Yeah, I mean, on the 1-hour, you can see this is like a death candle on the 1-hour. What's up, Bakakenu? How are you, bro? Yeah, so I mean, we're probably gonna hit London lows at this point, I bet. So like honestly the only scenario I could even see longs today is maybe like we hit London lows and immediately get a reaction off them, very clear. You said London lows equal lows? You are correct. Yeah, London lows is definitely gonna hit then. Morning, Ace, how are you? You know, if we can, like, we haven't taken out London lows, if we can pull up and retrade into some like higher time frame gap, I would love that. I honestly don't think I'm gonna get that. Yeah, no. I should have checked. I wonder if on the, I mean, there's no SNT really. Yeah, not really, no. And there's an SMT at the lows, obviously, but... So, honestly, I feel like, I mean, I'm not looking for longs, but the only way I even could look for longs is, like, let's say, right, we came down, took out London lows. I want to see us, like, start breaking structure. Like, I definitely want some clear structure before I start looking for longs. Because, honestly, I don't really want to just take longs off London lows. But that's just me personally. Honestly, I feel like there's certain people out there that might be doing it. Because, I mean, we have like an unfilled 5-minute gap up here. I don't think it's that clean. Well, honestly, though, I guess for shorts, though, like, let's say if we come up and we tap into this 5-minute gap up here, I might look for rejection out of it for a continuation short. I forget. I should know this. I want to check if there's news. There is news at 10 a.m. to my knowledge. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we do have 10 a.m. news. So once we start getting closer to 10 a.m., I'm probably just going to wait for that news to come out. And especially, like, I always talk about data highs and data lows. We'll probably leave behind one of the two. So I might be able to use that as a draw. But we'll see. How's everyone's trading week been, though? I guess, since, I mean, I need to wait for a pullback all the way to this 5-minute gap for me to even take a short if I would. So I'll show you guys my payout I requested yesterday. I just gotta pull it up real quick. So I mean, I just requested the payout. So it says, hi, Timothy, congratulations on your payout request. We're processing. So this is a payout of like $1,001. But they send you like 3 emails. Cause see, like, this is like 805, 805, 806. So here's another one for 1,000. Here's another one for 1,000. So there's the payouts I requested yesterday. You said, let's go, Tim. Appreciate you, Jeremy. I feel like whenever I look away from the charts, they start doing stuff, honestly. So if we get a retracement into this 5-minute gap, I'll probably start paying closer attention to see if I can get like a continuation short. Oh, but you know, when I requested those payouts, I guess, so I haven't requested a payout from Top Step since they changed to like the new dashboard. Like, I don't know how long you guys have been trading with Top Step, but they used to have an old dashboard. And they made me fill out my W-2 again, and I don't know why. I'm just scared they're gonna deny my payout. They're like, oh, you didn't fill out the W-2 right. And I'm like, no. You say, congrats on the payout, Tim. Let's go. Appreciate you, Samuel. You said, I did take longs at 8:30, targeting equal high. I thought I put TP, but I forget when I came back to the chart. I got stopped out. Sorry to hear that. So it looks like we're getting really close to this unfilled 5-minute gap. So honestly, the thing I'm thinking about though, so like, one thing I keep in mind is like when I'm taking continuations, sometimes I don't like taking continuations when we just previously took out like significant higher time frame liquidity. Like let's say we took out London lows, like does it make sense to take a continuation short like through this? Like in this case, I think the answer might be yes. Because I feel like there's all these stacked lows. I feel like eventually they want to get ran, to be honest. And we even have Asia lows below as well. You said, are you going to be trading your Alpha Futures accounts today then? Yeah, honestly, I'm going to trade my accounts to Alpha Futures. I literally could trade my Top Step accounts. There's actually nothing stopping me. But I just don't want to, in case for some reason, they like, let's say they say, oh, something wasn't filled out properly on your W-2. And they like, they deny the payout and tell me to re-request it. I don't want the balance to change. I don't know. I just feel like it's best if I don't touch the account. It's cool though. They already removed the money from the trading account though, which is like the part that matters, but interesting. So I mean, like I was gonna be bearish, but like I remember when I said I kind of drew up my little poor diagram, right, where I was like, okay, if we sweep this and we kind of come up here, right, and start forming bullish structure. I mean, at that point, I can't be stuck on a bearish bias, right? Like, I mean, at this point, at some point, I might need to accept I'm wrong here, and we might be bullish instead. Because, like, the thing is, I mean, part of the reason I was basing my bias, my bearish bias off of, is I was looking and saying, okay, well, we swept out this high inside this 4-hour gap, we're reacting very strongly off of it, and we have all these stacked lows down here, right? But the thing is, like, if we're not reacting toward those stacked lows and now we're reacting off London, I feel like this is the stronger area, if that makes sense, like London lows. And even if I want to take like some form of long out of here, I really couldn't do it. Because like since I trade inversions, right, like I always say, like what's the highest time frame leg where there's like a singular fair value gap? So like right here, there's like one singular fair value gap. There's like another one. So it's not singular. There's two separate gaps, right? So like if I trade using inversions, like if let's say we get an inversion of the first gap, there's no saying this one that's higher up isn't going to hold. And then if I wait for them both to invert, like where am I putting my stop loss? Like do I put my stop loss here? Do I put my stop loss here? And either way, your stop loss is just cooked in my opinion, but you said, are you bearish in NQ right now? I'd say I'm kind of reactionary right now. Like, honestly, like we took out London lows. Like, if we fail to displace off London lows and start coming back down, I'd be bearish. And then like if we continue and keep forming bullish structure. He said, so what do we do in this situation? So yeah, like me personally, I feel like this is like a middle ground area where like for example, if we start reacting down now, we're continuing with bearish structure. But the thing is, like if let's say we fail to break through this low, let's say we fail to start like forming bearish structure, I'd be bullish. So essentially, I'm going to be reactionary, like waiting for a little bit more price action to play out, essentially. Is there a 30-second FVG to the downside? I mean, there's probably a million 30 seconds. I mean, there's like a 30-second here. 30-second here. I always assume, though, I feel like I pay attention to, like, the highest time frame fair value gap in the current leg. So, like, I mean, like, there's 1 minute gaps here. So, like, I really wouldn't take a 30-second inverse if, like, a 1 minute. I want to say there's a 2 minute. Yeah, there's a 2 minute we're reacting off of right now. You said I took a 1 minute long inverse? Oh, yes, are you talking about like these gaps over here you took like inverse off of? Well, I hope it works out for you. You said, have you traded gold? Nah, I only trade Nasdaq futures. I've traded gold in the past, but I found a lot more success when I only traded Nasdaq, in my experience at least. And you know, the thing is, I feel like I was considering taking a short if we open up like a 5 minute gap here and like let's say we close through it. But the only thing is, like if we did close through it, at that point it would be like 950. Because like for this gap to even form, we have to wait 2 minutes for this candle to close. So then it's 9:45. Then let's say this candle closes at 9:50. That's like 10 minutes before news. I really can't take a trade that close to news. Especially since I will be trading my alpha futures accounts today. So my alpha futures accounts only have a I think I can't trade 2 minutes before and after news. I should double check that. I'm like relatively sure it's 2 minutes. So what's your opinion of the people that ask to pay to see them trade? I mean, like, I understand why they do it. Like, I mean, I'm a little different, but like I understand why they do it. Like, they worked very hard to earn that skill, and they don't want people to just like be able to copy them. Because think about it. Like, imagine you spend years perfecting this skill, and it's like you're gonna let someone else just like blindly just copy you and like get the same results with no effort. Like, I get it, and like there's a lot of value behind it. Right? Like, since there's a high demand, like I understand why they charge for it, but I just don't like the people. I guess the main thing I don't like is I don't like the people that charge where you can pay them to watch them trade, but they can't trade at the end of the day. I guess that's the main people I have a problem with. Like, I actually used to be in a paid Discord where I used to pay $100 a month to watch this guy trade every morning. I feel like I gained some value from it, but and I still love the guy who was running it to this day. Yeah, so we did open up this 5-minute gap down here. If there was not news at 10 a.m., I feel like I'd consider this short, but since there is, I can't take it. But because honestly, like, I always talk about conditions. Like, if you're trying to figure out a bias right now, honestly, I think the best way to figure out your bias is using this 5-minute gap right here as a condition, right? So like, let's say if we trade into this gap and lower time frame, we start giving confirmation out of it. I'd start being bullish at that point, honestly. But if we trade through it and we disrespect it and close through it, I'd say at that point we're probably coming for Asia lows. At that point, we're probably coming for a bunch of these lows, honestly. Oh, I did double check it. Alpha Futures, it's 2 minutes before and after news. I feel like that's like the same everywhere else pretty much. You said no red this month? What, for you, Jeremy? I'm glad to hear it. I mean, so essentially at this point, I'm pretty much just waiting for 10 a.m. news to come out. Because at this point, like, it's getting too close to news. I can't really place any trades, to be honest. It's like, I mean, even if I get in a trade, like, right now, it's still, like, news is in, like, what, 10 minutes? Like 12 minutes? I have to close it in 10. What's up, Visor? How are you, bro? You know, if there wasn't news at 10 a.m., I literally would be taking the short right now. If there was not news. But, I mean, there is news, so I can't take it, but... Is it pretty good, bro? What's your bias? Honestly, I feel like so far, honestly, I've been a little back and forth, to be honest. Because at first, I was saying, like, oh, we're reacting off of this, like, we swept out this high inside this 4-hour gap. We're reacting off that. But then we kind of came down and swept out London lows. And I feel like we reacted pretty strongly off that. And I was like, wait, maybe I'm wrong. But honestly, right now, I'd say I'm leaning bearish, to be honest. And there's all these, like, stacked lows down here. I could see these lows get taken out. Especially if we close to this 5-minute. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You said AMD says short too. Yeah, I never look at AMD. I probably should, to be honest. You know, if only there wasn't news. If there wasn't news, I'd be in this. I mean, it doesn't matter if it loses because I'm not going to take it, but I wonder, where would I have targeted? Yeah, I probably would have targeted right below Asia low. I just can't take the risk of holding through news. Like, it's not something I can afford to do. He said, I don't rely on AMD, it's just one of my confluences. I mean, yeah. I know there are some people that I feel like just trade with PO3 alone. And I'm like, how do you do that? He said, holding through news is being... I don't know why anyone would do that. Yeah, because I feel like I tell people all the time, like, you could take a setup that on paper looks amazing, and that news release could drop, and it could just wick to your stop loss, and then just go your intended direction. I feel like holding through news literally is gambling. I mean, like, to a point. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I full port news on evaluation sometimes, but like, I accept the risk. And I feel like the way I be full porting news though is I just put a buy stop and a sell stop on each side, so whenever it kind of like flushes in one direction, I just kind of ride the move. He said full porting is better than holding through news. Honestly, it low key is. You know, I don't know why. I feel like I'd be on TikTok live at night, like answering questions sometimes, and people like will ask me how I like pass evals, how long it takes me. I'm like, oh, by the way, like just so you guys know, like I might sometimes full port my evaluations, but I don't think you guys should do that. And everyone in my chat's like, wait, tell me how to do it. I don't want to full port evals. I'm like, guys, please, like, like get a profitable strategy. And well, honestly, one thing I think is interesting too, like I literally have people say like, oh, I just need to pass my evaluation and then I'm all good. And I feel like it's like, if you can't make 3K to pass an evaluation, what means you think you're gonna make money once you magically get a funded account? Like just because you full port news doesn't mean you know how to trade now. But it's always best to focus on learning the skill. So they don't know the consequences. Yeah, I guess because I almost feel like a parent being like, no, don't do this. But I know, like, if you keep full porting evaluations, one of these days you're going to open up whatever bank you have your credit card with. You're going to check your balance and be like, oh my God, I owe a couple $1,000s because of all these evals I failed. And, like, I didn't even learn anything from it. I just full ported them all. Like those evals, like, they sound small, but they add up. You said if you're on TikTok live, you're a parent that moment. Honestly, low key. You said the best trade was a 9. They made the trade before. I guess you're probably talking about there was some inversion like up here after we took out these highs and there's like equal lows down here. I assume you're probably talking about. I saw Dodgy took that. Something like this. I mean, I don't trade pre-market, but I'm not going to lie. This trade is honestly beautiful. This is actually beautiful. He said, bro, why is Dodgy taking them edgy trades? Honestly, you know, sometimes, I mean, I think Dodgy's legit, like, don't get it twisted, but sometimes I want to join Dodgy's Discord to be like, bro, are you, like, taking every inversion that presents itself? Because sometimes I'm like, bro, how do you catch that? Like... And sometimes too, I feel like he's a lot different than me in the way that like sometimes he'll take a 1 minute inversion when it's like not the highest time frame in the leg. Like there'll be like a 2 minute gap and he'll take the 1 minute and like, oh, I had discretion. I'm like, what? I mean, I guess it makes sense and all, but like, that's not me. Said bros on a call with the market makers. So we have 5 minutes till news. I mean, I'm pretty much just waiting for high impact news to come out. You said, can we trade during news with Top Step? I mean, if you read Top Step's rules, I think they say they strongly discourage it, but it's not against their rules. Like you can trade through news with Top Step. I'm not necessarily saying it's the best idea to do, because honestly, one, like even if it works, I feel like Top Step's been a little weird lately. I feel like in the past, I would just say you can do whatever and Top Step will pay you out. But I've been hearing some interesting things about Top Step lately. You said, did you take the 5-minute FVG short? So I passed up on it. I would have taken it if there wasn't news coming out so soon. Because the thing is, like, I prefer not to hold through news. Well, not I prefer. I mean, I don't hold through news, right? So, like, when 10 a.m. news comes out in, like, what, 3 minutes? Like, this thing could fly in one direction. And it could be like a gamble, if that makes sense. So, honestly, if there wasn't news, I would have taken that. But I'm going to wait until news comes out, and then I'll look for like a trade after that. Is it high impact news? I mean, to my knowledge, I believe so. I mean, I always check Forex Factory for news. I mean, unless I'm going crazy, it looks like, I mean, see what the little, it's probably impossible for you guys to see because it's so small, but there's a countdown. It says like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's the prelim, I don't even know, UOM, something over a month, consumer sentiment. I probably should know what that means. And the inflation expectations. You know, one thing I think is kind of funny. Oh, you said, no, I'm watching you. I know you didn't. I meant, honestly? Oh, I thought you just mistyped something. I don't even know who Doji the Trader is. You said he took it towards London lows. I thought London lows already got swept. Oh, wait. Do you mean Dodgy? Oh, like, oh, you're just spelling it. I mean, not like it matters, but I think. Wait, how does he spell his name? It's Dodgy? I should know this. Yeah, Dodgy. Yeah, you said bro spelt the Doji candle? Yeah. Yeah, it's dodgy. I mean, not a big deal at all, though. I know what you mean now. Oh yeah, no, but he took that short. I was talking about. I don't know if you heard me mention it before. He took a short up here off a 1 minute inversion, and he targeted these equal lows down here for like a 1 to 2.5. He's crazy. You said I checked. It's a red folder, but it's not that high impact, but it could mess the market. I mean, yeah, honestly, the main thing I'm thinking about is I'm gonna trade my Alpha futures accounts today, and they have a rule you can't trade 2 minutes before or after high impact news. So I just don't want to violate the rule. I have a million tabs open right now. Yeah, we got news in 7 seconds. Said bias. Honestly, I'm gonna wait until after this news comes out, to be honest. You said, does that mean Dodgy got in the trade before 9:30? Yeah, Dodgy got in this trade at like 9:05, I want to say, or something like that. Wait, was that a 5-minute gap? Oh wait, yeah. Honestly, this is a pretty solid setup though. He got it in like 9:10. So, probably have to run. Ooh, so if we can leave behind this data high, this is a good target up here. You said you trading your funded next week? I mean, I'm trading my funded today too, but I'll be trading my funded definitely next week as well, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna be trading my funded account out futures today, probably. Because I have 3. They're like at Alpha Futures, they just call them qualified instead of like express. So I have 3 accounts that are like qualified at Alpha. I'll just be trading. So what props do you trade on? I'm currently funded. I have 5 express funded accounts at Top Step, and I have 3 0 plans at Alpha Futures that are like qualified or funded. Since so choppy. Yeah, honestly, right now it's pretty choppy. I'm hoping it breaks to one side, but so did you see what's happening in Iran? Honestly, I really didn't. You said trying to get funded on Lucid today? Well, good luck, Ace. You said I have 2 Top Step fundeds, but close to blowing them. Gotta chill. Well, good luck with those accounts, bro. So it looks like we're gonna take out this data high, which I guess is okay. I'm not really too bullish. So we didn't even. Oh no, never mind. So there is this 15-minute gap up here. So maybe if we can come up, sweep out this high up here, maybe, and react off that, I could see shorts, maybe. So do you know a prop firm called QT? Are you doing like Quanteki or whatever it's called? Like Quantecal or... I don't know how to say it. I've heard of them. I really don't know much about them. Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, I thought they're pretty well rated. I mean, I don't trade like CFD prop firms, but I always go to like a website called Trustpilot. I feel like that's the best place to look at like how trusted a prop firm is. And honestly, like for my bias at this point in time, like I'm not willing to take any trades if we're just gonna sit here and just keep chopping in a range like this. Like, I mean, like, I wouldn't say it's crazy chop, but it's still some pretty bad chop. Like, what type of range is this? This is a 100-point range almost. Well, regardless of the point size, we're still failing to break to either side. Yeah, these lows are probably gonna get ran now. See, ES is starting to break lower a little bit now. I think my face is in the way, but... So I mean, at this point, let's say if we start breaking lower, the main thing I'm going to look for a short is essentially for like my continuation model, where we either open up like a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap as we're moving down. We retrade back into it in a lower time frame. I want like a confirmation coming out in the form of like an inversion. But I mean, for me to even get that, first we still have to break down and just keep trending down, open up gaps. But that's what I like to see. So we're finally getting some, it's finally breaking a little bit to the downside. I feel like this is a good example though of like when I always talk about like low resistance liquidity, when I say there's stacked lows or stacked highs, whenever they do get ran, it typically happens very fast, right? So like it's the same idea with like these stacked lows, how we chopped. Once we started running them, it was like a domino effect, right? Like a snowball effect. The way I'm hoping is it'll be the same thing with some of these lows down here, right? Like we'll take out this low, then we'll take out like the low right below it, then we'll take out this low, right? That's kind of part of the reason I'm bearish. You said, did you follow that price is different in January? It seems to be readjusting after the turn of the year. I mean, I feel like each like season has its own like, what do they call it? Like a seasonality or like a seasonal trend, or I don't know what the right word is, but I feel like each month, each year kind of has its own like little like nuances, if that makes sense. Like honestly, I really can't give an answer to exactly how each month acts, but I usually focus in on like the end of the year at least. Like I know at least like the exact end of the year, like Christmas time and like the first week of the new year can be like a little choppy and not high probability, but I feel like once it gets into mid-January though, I feel like price action kind of returns back to normal from like the holiday price action. You know, I'd say price, I feel like it's mostly back to normal. Like I feel like at some points it can get a little choppy, but it's mostly back to normal. So we're probably taking out Asia low now. Yeah, there's Asia low we just took. So even though we already took London and Asia, I'm low-key, not even low-key, I'm still bearish because it was like the same principle I said before, right? Where I drew out these stacked lows, like I just said before, right? Honestly, so since we're starting to run these lows, I'm expecting it to just keep running all these lows down here until it gets to like the extreme, like down here. You know, I suck with these drawing tools sometimes. It's harder than it looks. Yeah, so honestly though, once we hit that low down here, I'm not going to be as bearish, but like until we hit that low down there, I'm pretty confident that low getting hit. Like the background music. You said we just took Asia lows. I mean, yeah, we did take Asia lows. I mean, I'm still bearish though, even though we took Asia lows. Yeah, I mean, because Asia lows are. Yeah, Asia lows are right here. So there's a 5-minute forming. I mean, we still got like 4 minutes, but I mean, a 5-minute is starting to form. Yeah, I mean, it's possible we might not even open it up. You said NFP came out lower than expected. I'm not surprised. I guess it came out a lot lower than expected, actually. You said so bearish might make sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I feel like I don't really pay attention to the actual news releases too much. I feel like I usually just pay attention to the actual market structure that gets formed. Honestly, I mean, I'm not saying it might be a good idea for me to look at actual economic news, but yeah, so we're not even gonna open up that 5-minute gap. You said same. Yes, I mean, the thing is, though, for me to take a continuation short, like, since my model essentially just relies off 5 and 15-minute fair value gaps, so since we're not opening up a 5-minute gap in those current price leg, on the 15-minute, there is, like, this gap up here that's bearish, but for me to, like, base a trade off of that, we'd have to sweep the high inside this gap and react off of it. And the thing is, though, is I'm just looking, like, if we're gonna sweep out London and Asia lows, I'm sorry, like, and we're gonna react up this far, like, does it really make sense we're gonna continue bearish? To look at the 2-minute, it's an interesting one. I'm probably gonna pass up on that. Oh, is it? There's a 3-minute gap too. There's a 4-minute gap too. See, I don't think we're gonna. Honestly, I was low key just thinking the same thing though. I feel like I'm gonna watch, like, if it takes out the data high, like, let's say if it reacts off the data high and continues lower, I'll stay bearish. But honestly, if we break above this data high and just keep going up, I kind of gotta be bullish. I feel like today's price action's so choppy though. Like, it's just going, like, we took out this 4-hour high, right? We react strongly off the 4-hour high. We come down, sweep out London, react off London, come down Asia, react off Asia. Like, you said if a 5-minute bullish FVG forms, I'll take a retrace into it. I'd agree with that. You said today's price action reminds me of last week of December. Yeah, honestly, I know some people say not to trade NFP. I actually used to not trade NFP, but I kind of did some testing and I realized I'm like, NFP, at least for my model in specific, there's no reason I should really avoid it. It's like approximately the same win rate, but and also, guys in the YouTube, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button while we're waiting. It does help the stream. And also, if you guys aren't in my free Discord, I do my free Discord. It's like either in the pinned comment or like linked to my profile. You guys are welcome to join that. You can tag me anytime, ask me any questions. I think I actually meant to respond to someone in the Discord, actually. I should probably do that. You said I got in on that long bro, 250 less to go, funded. Oh, good stuff, Danny. Honestly, we're having a very strong reaction off of Asia lows. I'm gonna restart my trading view because one of my candles just does anyone even know how to fix this? Like, you see how there's a 10:06 candle and then it goes to like 10:09. Well, 10:07 to 10:09. But like, where's the 10:08 candle? Bro said I ate the 10:08 candle. You know, I actually had a great joke I could have made there. I could have said, "Oh, like why was 7 afraid of 9?" Or why was 9 afraid of 7? Because 7 ate 9. I don't know. You guys get the joke. The time has passed. Bro said we get the joke, bro. Just give me a free funded. You, bro, what happened to you being on the phone for your live account? But you said just refresh with Control R. Oh my god, I genuinely appreciate you. I appreciate you. This is some straight chop right now. So W key in the chat? You like W's in the chat? I feel like I never say that. I feel like one day I gotta start saying that. You said Eminem said, "Look, if you only had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or let it slip?" I'm definitely rocking with the message you're putting forth here, but like, out of curiosity, what made you bring up Eminem at this moment in time? You said you let it slip. You should tell Eminem he needs to give me an opportunity first, then we'll talk. You said I was away from the charts. Why did we not take longs after the Asia sweep? Honestly, so after we swept Asia, um, like I always go for the highest time frame fair value gap in the current price leg, and the highest time frame would be this 4 minute gap. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of this 4 minute. Like we already took the internal high of this price leg, really. So this pretty much would have been like a break even trade. And then target would also be crazy. Because you said because the long was too long. That's definitely one way to put it. Like I feel like, let's say honestly, if we gave us like a better close, maybe if we closed up here, I might have considered it, but it just ran away too quickly. Oh, so, I missed that. So we did actually open up, though. So we opened up this 5-minute gap right here. I feel like this 5-minute gap is a good condition. Where, like, honestly, if we just, like, push down and invert it, I wouldn't say I'd take a trade off of it, but I'd go back to a bearish bias, honestly. But if we can come into this 5-minute gap and respect it, I'd be looking for longs out of it. Like, because I always set, like, range conditions. Like, I look for, like, a higher time frame gap, and I'll say for this, like, current range, like, over here. Like, this range from here to here, right? Like, if we invert this gap, we're going down. If we hold it, we're going up. You said, I don't think we're going back to the low. I mean, honestly, I don't think so either. But I feel like I always like to give myself two scenarios. I feel like one might be very unlikely, but I feel like I always like to just be like mentally prepared in case we start dumping, if that makes sense. Bro said, I will tell him for you. So yeah, honestly, if we're going to break above this high right here, we're definitely going to be bullish at this point, honestly. Like, ES already broke it. And I feel like now that we had the reaction like off of Asia low, I feel like it looks so obvious now. But honestly, at that moment in time, like once we took out Asia low, like I honestly really thought we were gonna move bearish still. Cause like I was viewing like we swept at this high over here and we had like stacked lows below. So I really thought that we were gonna ran. But you said when I was new to the internet, I thought Streambot was a random Discord dude in the room saying stuff in the chat. Yeah, no, it's like the bot that I mean I think you know this, but it just carries the chat between Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. I don't think anyone ever joins my Kick streams though. I mean, like honestly, I'd prefer if you watch on other platforms. I think Kick's kind of dead. I feel like Kick's only useful if you have OD followers and you can tell them, "Hey, watch me on Kick," and you can do stuff that violates the community guidelines on their sites, if that makes sense. Actually, this thing's trying to tell me I have 2 people watching on Kick. Did people on Kick, do you actually exist? So I mean, at this point, like I'm still waiting for a pullback into a bullish 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap take longs. So like let's say theoretically we open up like this 5-minute gap right here. Maybe we can pull back into that one in a lower time frame. I can get a rejection out of that. I mean, if not, let's say we start dumping, I could still get a retrace into this 5-minute gap down here and look for a reaction out of there. But he said, guys, tell me man to man I should work on my English, right? Honestly, Your English is mostly good, I'd say, to be honest. Like, I mean, I feel like there have been a couple things where I've been like, oh, maybe you should have used like one word differently. But honestly, like, I haven't really read your messages and thought to myself, oh, this guy doesn't know English. Like, you can relatively like you can blend in with a regular English speaker for to me at least in chat. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you want like an honest answer, like like I said before, there have been a couple times where like I've thought in my head like, oh, maybe he should have said it like slightly differently. But like for the most part, it's not bad. You said, bro, just flex on them English speakers. You can speak English, but they can't speak your language. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, like I can only speak English, and honestly, I've tried. I one time I tried to learn Spanish, and learning another language is hard. Said it's my fourth language. What are the other languages you know? Fourth, then yeah. And I know I've heard people say I think it's kind of the same principle as like playing a musical instrument. Like it kind of like it opens up in your brain, like it opens up these pathways that make sense. Because I feel like your brain has to rewire itself to learn multiple languages, and it like makes you smarter over time. That makes sense. You said my native language is Portuguese, and I'm trying to understand you, but sometimes I can't. I'm sorry about that. I do talk pretty fast sometimes. If you have any questions, though, you're always welcome to ask for clarification in chat. Like if you didn't hear me say something, you can always say like, "Hey, what was that? I didn't catch that." I've heard of Arabic in English. I haven't heard of Oromo, and I haven't heard of Aramic. You said I learned Italian in eighth grade, bro. All I remembered is the boy ate the apple. Yeah, I think like when I took Spanish in high school, I can remember like "Hola, me llamo Tim," which means like "Hola, my name is Tim," or "Hello, my name's Tim." And I think I know how to say how do you go to the how can I go to the bathroom? Because I remember my Spanish teacher made us ask, "Can I go to the bathroom in Spanish?" He said it's from Ethiopia. I mean, yeah, I kind of figured. That's honestly great. You know that many languages though. I know it might be like oh my audio my music froze, but I know in your country it might be like normalized that people know many languages, but don't get it twisted. Like that's honestly an amazing feat. Like even if all the people around you are doing it, like in America, if you tell someone you know four languages, they look at you like you have three heads. Like it's so uncommon here. Like it's honestly a great accomplishment. Like what else do I know from Spanish? No, I don't know why. One of the other things I remember for Spanish classes, I remember how to say I like hamburgers. Oh yeah, when I speak Spanish to an actual Spanish speaker, they say like I speak like the whitest Spanish they've ever heard. They're like, it's so obvious you're American. You said no, not really. It's not common. Oh, that's even better for you then, honestly. Because I know there are some countries where it's very common to know like multiple languages, but I wasn't sure if Ethiopia was one of them to be honest. You said, bro, the Spanish speakers say habla español and they get excited thinking I can speak more, and that's all I know. Yeah, I work at a bank, and sometimes I'll be dealing with someone who's like a Spanish speaker, and like I know a couple words, like banking words in Spanish. If you know what I mean, like I'll say algo más, which means like anything else, and like I know like I'll say cien, which means like hundred, is in like $100 bills, and then like, but like sometimes though they look at me and they get all excited. I'm like, no, no, calm down. I know three words. I think I say it incorrectly, but I think Ahoros is savings. You said you work at a bank. No wonder why bro has a high win streak. I mean, I wouldn't say there's a connection between working at a bank. I mean, I just work at some random small bank. It's like a local credit union, if that makes sense. So it's not even like a bigger bank. But that's why you see me dressed like this sometimes, though. I gotta go to work later today. So I work at a bank, so I gotta dress nice. He said he has insider info. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, we're definitely moving very bullish, right? Like, I'm still waiting for the same thing I've been waiting for this whole time. I just want to pull back into a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap. And then essentially, I'm looking to take a continuation long out of there. But the only thing I'm going to keep in mind is if we get, like, ridiculously overextended, like, let's say we just keep pushing up with no retracement, I don't want to take longs, like, all the way up here, if that makes sense. But, I mean, I'll just keep waiting for a pullback. You said the 15 minutes opening up? Well, I mean, we still got 12 minutes for the 15 minutes to open up. Yeah, honestly, if that 15-minute opens up, though, I feel like that could be more of like an 11 a.m. manipulation down, if you know what I'm saying. He said, but not gonna lie, if we catch a trade, we might have to stay through the 11 a.m. manipulation. Yeah. Yeah, well, I feel like we're always on the same page. You said, can't stop laughing at Signed with Jay live stream once on TikTok. He takes one stop loss. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I was seeing some guy on TikTok the other day who, like, I feel like he had all these levels on his chart where he was like, okay, like, if it breaks above 83, I'm going to go long, but then I'm going to sell at, like, 94, and then I'm going to buy again at, like, up here, and he had all these weird, like, things all over his chart, and I was, like, looking, like, I genuinely can't believe this is real right now. Like, some of these TikTok live traders are, like, they can't be real, bro. Like, you said, when we create 2 back-to-back FVGs, which should we consider? Honestly, so, like, that's one of the reasons I look for, like, confirmation, right? So, like, I don't know if you ever, like, I'm sure you've seen my strategy in the past, right? Like, I always, like, I zoom in and look for a lower time frame inverse coming out of it. So, like, let's say if we were to trade into this most recent 5-minute gap, and I zoom in and, like, lower time frame, like, I start seeing inversions coming out of it, I'd take a long. But let's say if we tap into this 5-minute and I see no reaction whatsoever, at that point, then I'd wait for this one to get hit. And I guess one last thing I do keep in mind, though, is, like, I wouldn't say yet, it's more of a discretionary thing, but I kind of look at the most current price leg, like, how far are we overextended, if that makes sense? Like, because sometimes I'll wait for, like, more of a discounted gap to get hit if we're, like, all the way in the middle of the air, right? Like let's say we kept trending up, and, like, let's say we open up, like, a very tiny 5-minute gap, like, right here. I probably wouldn't like a long off that since we're so high in the sky. Does that make sense? He said, oh, I get the joke. He meant he keeps losing instead of stop loss, take pro. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. You said, bro, go look. He keeps moving his stop loss. Yo, moving your stop loss, I feel like moving your stop loss is never a good idea. You said, try using other confluences, for example, buying a discount or maybe V-shape recovery. I mean, yeah, I don't strictly base my trades off of IFVGs. I feel like the best trades are when you have like what I call like a narrative, where you can say like, okay, well, like on the 1 hour we're doing this, on the 4 hour, and you like put together a whole story for what price is doing. Honestly, I want to go look at this dude though. I'm gonna be nosy. I'll see if he saw him live. Signed with J. Dude. Do you see me looking at my phone screen like this? I'm just looking at this dude's live. Dude, and I like how... I can't really show it. Like, I'll show you for 5 seconds. Do you see how behind his head, you can barely see his head. You can't see it. But on the wall, he has like all these funded trader certificates posted all over the wall. And it's like, dude, your stop loss is the size of like a football field. So they trying to rage bait us. He said he said some have multiple stop loss, like stop loss 1, stop loss 2. I've never heard a thing as stop loss 1, stop loss 2. Oh my god. Dude, I'm telling you, TikTok live traders are seriously a different breed of people. He said, bro, what? Yeah. You know, speaking of TikTok traders being a different breed of people, though, like, honestly, I respect the hustle and all, but I saw some dude live streaming video games on TikTok, and he had no limbs. Like, he literally had, like, this weird, like, instrument where he put his mouth on it, and, like, on the left was, like, a mouse thing, and on the right side was, like a keyboard thing, I guess, like, so we could press these different buttons. And, like, he was honestly pretty decent at the video game, but I'm like, what am I watching right now? You said they got a better chance at a casino. You know, sometimes I do watch people trade, and I literally think, I'm like, you know what? You're essentially gambling. Like, literally, just go to the casino. You said I saw that dude too. Yeah, I guess you probably know what I'm talking about. You know, it reminds me of, I remember when I used to play Counter-Strike, there used to be some guy, I think he was like semi-pro, or like he was like a streamer or something like that. But his name was Handy, like Handi. But he actually had no arms. Like, he only had stubs. And he used to like sit, and he used to have like this keyboard that was like really like specially made for him. And I remember sometimes to click buttons on the keyboard, he would like use his nose. And like it looked funny to see, but like he would literally be like, and he would just hit his face on the keyboard to like reload or something. But I'll give him, like, he really was really good at Counter-Strike. He seemed like a great guy too, honestly. I don't even know if he streams anymore. I should get back on topic. You said he's the type to drop a course. You said even the casino, they don't know where to stop. I mean, that's a good point though, honestly. You said, do you only trade Nasdaq? Is it the only pair? So yeah, I only trade Nasdaq futures. I do also look at the S&P 500. Like, I use it for like SMT divergences, but I only trade Nasdaq. The main reason I only trade Nasdaq is not that it's the only thing my strategy works on. It's more like it's the only thing I have data that my strategy works on it. Like, essentially, I took like a small sample size. I went to like gold, I went to like Nasdaq, I went to some other things, and I said, like, if I trade inversions, like, what pair does my strategy have the highest win rate on? And in my experience, like, if I'm trading New York AM session, it works best during on the Nasdaq. So I figured, like, I'll stick to trading one pair, and I'll figure out what's the highest probability pair to trade. So we did retrace into this first 5-minute gap up here. The thing is, we're probably going to open up a 15-minute gap in like 4 minutes. So I'd prefer not to put an unfilled 15-minute gap in my stop loss. So I either want to see, at this point, I probably want to see this 15-minute gap open up and get traded into, even if we get a rejection up right now. You said, any thoughts on trades by Psy? I mean, I don't like saying negative things about other traders, but I don't know. I guess look into like ICT and fair value gaps. You said, "Yo, Tim, have a nice weekend. I'm done for the day. Big love and respect, bro. Keep going. I appreciate you stopping by, Baka Kenu. I hope you have a great weekend, bro." Oh, what are you gonna say, Bison? You know, I can't control what my chat's saying. I don't know. It's impossible to delete messages in my chat. I don't know. You said, have you passed a challenge with this strategy? Is it an easy strategy to learn? So I think my strategy is pretty easy. Like, honestly, I always tell people there's something called like analysis paralysis. So I always say, like, honestly, if you make things more complicated, it's not necessarily better, if that makes sense. So, like, if you want to see how my strategy works, if you go to my YouTube channel, I do have a full video explaining my strategy in depth. It's the one I uploaded a couple days ago. I think it's called, like, My Strategy Explained from A to Z, or My Strategy Simplified. How did I forget what I named this video? It's My Strategy Explained from A to Z, how I trade every single day, in parentheses. But, look at that video. I think it's pretty easy. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I have passed a challenge with this account, with this strategy, I'm sorry. I mean, I can show you some of them. So on Alpha Futures, I currently have 3 qualified accounts, which basically means funded. At Top Step, I have 5 express funded accounts. So I currently have 8 funded accounts with prop firms, and I've used this strategy. Actually, you know, I actually only use this strategy to pass the 5 ones at Top Step, but I mean, full transparency, the ones at Alpha, I did actually full port news. But this strategy, I make a lot of money with this strategy. I mean, I don't know if you're new here, but I can show you my calendar. I'm like, I'm not saying it, like, this is a little above average results for me. I'm not going to lie. Well, this is November on these accounts, but like, this is above average for me. But, this strategy is working pretty well for me. So we're going to open up a 15-minute gap in like 30 seconds. So honestly, I could maybe look for a long out of this 15-minute gap if we get clear enough structure. You said, bro, why is the 15-minute down bad? Yeah, like, I feel like this 15-minute gap, I thought it was going to be big. And it's like, now we're just dumping. And why? Then what is down there? Yeah, honestly, I wonder if we keep dumping. I might just, like, if we keep dumping, and if we close through this 15-minute at 11, I'm literally just walking away for the day. Because there's absolutely no reason we shouldn't respect this 15-minute. Like, we swept the high inside of this 4-hour gap, right? We came down. We took out London lows. We actually literally had a reaction off of London lows. Where is it, right? Because, yeah, we swept London lows, reacted off of them. Then we even swept Asia lows, reacted off of them, and it looks like we're kind of dumping now. Did we respect? Yeah. I just saw, I feel like when the candle first opened up, I was like, are we dead ass? You said thank you. Can I get one-on-one or one-to-one and have the opportunity to backtest? I have been trading supply and demand. It's been inconsistent. I'll watch your strategy video. Said I want to understand your risk to reward. So I mean, like, I don't typically do one-on-one. I mean, like, if people, like, if you really insist, like, I do tell people if you want to talk to me one-on-one, like, I'll usually do like $150 for an hour, which no sounds a little high, but I just don't have much free time. Like, I encourage people, the best way to learn is just to pull up to these live streams, like, while you're here, ask me as many questions as you can. Like, you can join Discord, you can tag me in the Discord, ask me any questions. Like, watch my YouTube videos. And I know you mentioned something about you don't have the opportunity to backtest. I mean, we can definitely backtest together, like if we did the one-on-one. Or I'm working on a backtesting video that I want to upload. I'm aiming to get it uploaded this Tuesday, where it's just a video of me like doing raw backtesting. It's probably gonna be pretty long, to be honest. But you're welcome to wait for that video to get uploaded as well. Like, honestly, I try to emphasize like the free stuff I give out. Like, I feel like if someone DMs me and they're like, please, like, I want to talk to you one-on-one, like, I'm not going to say no. But, like, I do try to refer people the way of my free stuff, to make sense. He said, I want to understand your risk management. I mean, essentially my risk management, though, like, I typically go for, like, around a one-to-one risk to reward. Which, like, the way I view the market, I feel like it makes it kind of easy for me to be profitable. Because, like, if I'm trading a one-to-one risk to reward, I only have to win more than 50% of the time. So at that point, like, all I gotta do, like, if you flip a coin, it's 50-50, right? Like, you said long off this 1 minute IFVG. I'm not the biggest fan of that, only because we also just tapped into like this 2 minute right here. And there's even like a 3 minute here. There's a 4 minute. And we're going to open up a 5 minute. I mean, you said which inverse are you taking? Honestly, I might not get an entry on this, only because, like, I always view, like, I take the highest time frame of fair value gap and, like, most current price leg. So, where's my long short tool? So, like, this 5 minute gap is most likely going to be the highest gap in this leg. And even if I give myself a really tight stop loss, I'm still just not a fan of this trade. And on top of that, I'm not expecting Friday to expand too hard. Because, like, I feel like if you, like, pay attention to what day of the week does what on the market, I feel like Mondays and Fridays typically aren't, like, expansion days. Like, imagine if you think in terms of, like PO3, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? Like, higher time frame candles, like the weekly candle, right? So, like, on Monday, the weekly candle a lot of times has, like, a counter trend move. And then, so then Tuesday through Thursday will experience a continuation. And then sometimes Friday, not necessarily in the morning, but at least definitely like during PM session, sometimes we get a reversal in the opposite direction because Friday is like a pullback day. You said Friday typically consolidates and sells off. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, because you got to think, like, every candle I talk about, like even on the 4 hour, all these candles, if they're getting ready, like, when this 4 hour candle right here was getting ready to close, there was a point in time it was at the extreme of the candle, but usually right before the candle closes, it kind of pulls back a little bit, so there's a wick on each side, right? So, like, you got to think it's the same logic for all of these weekly candles, right? Like, all these weekly candles, right? Like, even if we were going to remain bullish, it's kind of unlikely we're going to close at the top of this weekly candle. That makes sense. Where was I at last, though? You said, how's it going, mate? Play some trades today? It's going pretty good. How about you? But honestly, I haven't taken any trades so far today. So you got any trades today, Tim? Nah, I haven't found anything. I have a feeling, too, I might not be able to find anything today. I mean, I was looking at, maybe, like, when we took out these Asia lows. Honestly, when we did take out Asia lows, I was a little bearish. I thought we were going to come a little lower, but there was like some kind of opportunity a little bit, but I didn't like the 4 minute right here. We closed so far through it. Like, even if I tried to take it, it wouldn't meet my model, if that makes sense. Like, the break even point is like 5 millimeters away. So not gonna lie, if we're talking about Fridays, typically 8 minutes before New York close, there's a 67% chance it sells off. That's what I've seen in the last year. It's like kind of a gamble. I mean, no, I mean there are people out there that play out statistical edges like that because I feel like that's a really good way to like play out some form of like statistical edge where you say like on Fridays, right? Like let's say the last 8 minutes, it's really easy to test something like that, and you can give yourself a lot of data. But oh, and should I throw in there? Hey, 6-7. I gotta stop. It's a good for clearing accounts. So I mean, we opened up this 5 minute gap here and we've tapped into it already. The weird thing is, so like we tapped into this 5 minute gap and right now we're respecting it, which low-key doesn't make sense to me because I feel like we should be moving bullish, but so I'm looking forward to the 5 minute gap. Like, do you mean like, are you looking to take an inversion out of this 5 minute? You said, do you think you'll get in a trade? Honestly, at this point in time, if I had to guess, I'm probably not taking a trade today. So I might take an inversion. I feel like it depends on how it closes. You said, so would you trade this for PO3? I mean, like I look at PO3 as like a confluence, like an added on thing, but like every single trade I enter requires like an inverse fair value gap essentially. I mean, I guess so. Like in terms of PO3 though, I mean, like yeah, it's looking good because like if we mark out the 10 a.m. open right here, right? Well, actually, it could go either way because you could say that 10 a.m. manipulated lower, it took out Asia low, or you could say that 10 a.m. manipulated higher and took out these highs up here. But I feel like today's a little tricky. You said I've only taken 2 trades and they were more swings. Yeah, I'm not much of a swing trade to be honest, but if I was more patient, you know, I might swing trade. You said 5 minutes till 11 might be done for the day. Yeah, honestly, if we close through this 15-minute gap at 11, I'm literally just gonna wrap up stream at that point. Like, if we invert this 15-minute, there's nothing to trade here. If anything, I'd say today's conditions were closer. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with search and destroy conditions. I feel like it just goes to one side, then it goes to the other side, then it goes to the other side. Like that's pretty much what it did, right? Like at New York AM Open, we expanded higher, took out highs up here, then we expanded lower, took out London, expanded higher, then expanded lower again, took out Asia. Like, we're just all over the place, to be honest. There's no clear trend today, in my opinion. You said let's just chill in the stream for real. I mean, I'll stay on for a little bit, but I gotta leave for work at like 12. And I want to get ready before then. Oh, interesting. I looked away for a second and we started respecting the 15-minute. He said, oh yeah, got you. No trade was taken today, but still enjoying the quality time with the 272s. Well, I appreciate you stopping by as well, Vised. I mean, so honestly, we are holding this 15-minute gap, but I feel like the only thing is, like, for me to take a long, I'd have to see an inverse through this 5-minute. And honestly, like, me personally, I don't think I'm really confident in this 5-minute inversion. Because one, I feel like it's taking a long time to invert this. Two, the stop loss size. At least if I were to give the swing low, that would make my stop loss like 90 points. As well as, honestly, I'm not really expecting price to expand this high, especially on a Friday, if that makes sense. Like, the weekly candles kind of already expanded up. I feel like it might just kind of close where it is. And at least in my opinion, I feel like especially once it gets to lunch hour, especially on Fridays, I feel like that can really get choppy. But like, there's always exceptions to every rule, but so thanks, bro. But guys, let's try not to force anything. Yeah, if I were to go for a 1-to-1 with a wide stop loss, I'd be targeting like all the way up there. So I feel like this is when you need to try a new concept in paper trade. I mean, me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of like what I call like strategy hopping. Like, I feel like, yeah, every day, like, you could try to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, fit. Like, say, oh, well, if I trade this way today, I could have made money. And this day, I could have traded this way and made money. But I feel like longer term, I feel like the best way is just to become like a master of one model. And if your model doesn't present itself, like, you just don't take anything. Joey said, any trade so far? Nah, I haven't taken anything so far. And I'm probably not getting an entry, to be honest. Like, the only thing I really consider today is if we close through this 5-minute. But I want to say, me personally, it's something I'm going to have to pass up on. And honestly, I could see this thing, the way these candles are moving, I could see this thing just breaking this high before it gives me the entry too. Because if I were to have taken this, like, that would be the break-even point up there. You said, I mean, more like try to trade through consolidation. I mean, I pretty much try not to trade through consolidation, to be honest. I just sit it out. And that's just how it works for me. What, are you talking to me or the other guy? Like, which part of what I said? I feel like you're talking to Tanner. I could be wrong though. Yeah, I mean, when I guess when people ask stuff like that, I try to think. Um, you said that's how you get chopped up. Yeah, I mean honestly, like I try to think like I try not to tell people like, oh, you 100% should do this, because I know everyone's strategy is like different and has different nuances. But at least to me, to be honest, I try to avoid chop. You said you gonna trade? Honestly, probably not. I'm really just curious. I really want to see how this 5-minute candle closes right here. But once I see how this 5-minute candle closes, I'm probably just gonna start wrapping up stream after that. You said, what do you think about going long, targeting the 900 level? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's definitely playing out well. Like me personally, I think there's a chance this 5-minute gap could still hold until we close through it, but yo, a shawarma special chopped meat? So I'm probably not gonna take this, but I'm gonna put the positions tool just to kind of eyeball it. But I'm probably not taking this. Like there's like there's like a 5%, there's like a 2% chance I'm taking this. There's like a 0.5% chance I'm taking this. Oh, it's even pulling back. It's an interesting candle close. I mean, I'm not taking this. Especially we didn't even close. Well, we didn't even close through the gap. We closed at the gap. All right. You know, I'm wrapping up shop here, so I'm pretty much gonna go back to New York Open and get my like analysis I had throughout the day and explain like everything that happened. I mean, I didn't take any trades today, but I'll still give my breakdown. But there's at this point, there's no shot I'm taking a trade today. So, starting on the daily, I'll put these back actually. So, now I'll get rid of them. So on the daily, so we did actually close through like this daily fair value gap over here. So on the 4-hour, right? 4 hours honestly not showing too much. I feel like one of the main things I was looking at in the 4-hour was I was talking about how we swept out this high inside this 4-hour gap. That was one of the main things I was looking at this morning, to be honest. So I was talking about like since we came up, we swept out like this high, right, at like pre-market, right, had a very strong reaction off of it. I was like, okay, I think we're gonna be bearish, right? Like on the higher time frame, there's all these kind of stacked lows, and I always view like stacked lows as like what I call like low resistance liquidity, right? So we got all these stacked lows. So We actually ended up taking out London lows pretty early on. So I'll mark out, this is London right here. This is Asia low right here. So at first, we actually took out London lows, and we reacted pretty strongly off of it. So I'm not going to lie, I did flip bias like a fair amount today, to be honest, which isn't ideal. But I'd say conditions were kind of choppy and kind of contributed to it. But so we took out London lows, we started reacting off of it, we broke market structure. I was like, okay, well, like originally I was saying we swept this 4-hour high, we're going to come down, but it looks like London lows were reacting off those, so I guess we are going to be bullish, right? So pretty much right when I flipped back to being bullish, we just dumped again. We took out Asia lows. At the point of us taking out Asia, honestly, I was looking for a continuation long, but this type of reaction in Asia, like this one right here, is even more clear than the reaction we had off London, right? So the reason I did not take a long off of this like London Asia low sweep was on the 4-minute, right? The highest time frame gap in the current price leg, because I always pay attention to what is the highest time frame fair value gap in those current price leg, right? So the highest time frame gap here was this 4-minute. So if I did try to take a long off this 4-minute, one, my break even point is like right there, as well as I just don't like the close. Like my stop loss would have had to be like 150 points. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I guess maybe if I didn't get stopped at break even, it would have hit, but like that's really not something I'm willing to take, right? So from there, I was waiting for like a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap to open up so I could take a long out of there, right? It said today's price action is basically all hopes and dreams. I mean, yeah. So I kept seeing all these gaps opening up. I was waiting for a retrace into them, right? We weren't retracing into any of them until we did actually open up this 15-minute fair value gap right here, right? So we opened up this 15-minute gap. I was saying, okay, I'm looking to take like a rejection out of it for me to take longs, right? So the reason I couldn't find an entry was because, like I said before, I was going for the highest time frame fair value gap in the most current price leg, right? So this 5-minute gap was the highest time frame fair value gap in this most current price leg. So I feel like structurally, this 5-minute isn't that good. And the why I say that is, one, the break-even point is a little too close for me, I feel like. Yeah, we just hit that. Yeah, so that's not a valid entry even at this point. But that would have been the break-even point, that high up there. I also don't like the way price action is moving. And I also don't like how big the stop loss is. And I also don't like how it's a Friday. And I feel like Fridays don't have very good continuations. Because like I was talking about earlier, right? If we view the weekly candle, a lot of these weekly candles, like even if we're moving bullish, we leave a wick to the upside, right? So if it's a Friday, we need to pull back to leave behind that wick at the top, right? But I wasn't really too confident in that. So I mean, in this candle right here, we closed at the gap. Like we close right at the gap. So like I personally don't like inversions if we're closing exactly at the gap, or if we're closing a couple points, like let's say we're closing one tick through the gap. That's like barely an inversion. Like I want to see a strong inversion. That wasn't a strong inversion. The following candle took my break even point, so I can't enter the trade because I should have been break even at that point, right? And I'm honestly not expecting too much more bullish price action for today. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I could be wrong, and this thing could slowly trend up for the rest of the day. But I feel like statistically, Fridays aren't really good expansion days, especially when the weekly candle is already extended in this direction, right? But you said, I think the 900 level is cooking. I don't doubt it, honestly. Yeah, but honestly, I'm pretty much getting off here. But it was definitely a W week. I mean, I actually didn't take any losses this week. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I took one loss this week, but I had no losing days, is what I meant to say. So I'm not show you guys my calendar real quick. Why not? This is not what I'm trying to show you guys. This is still my calendar, Top Steps. So this is the week. So I actually couldn't find anything Monday or Tuesday. And I know some people... You said I'm locking out. You said I took some losses, but had no losing days as well. Love to hear it, Vised. But yeah, I mean, so Monday or Tuesday, honestly, I couldn't find anything I thought was clear enough in my opinion. So like, honestly, I know sometimes people say like, oh, you're not trading, but it's like, bro, like, honestly, like, I'm only trying to trade my accounts in higher probability conditions. So it's like, It's whatever. I mean, but so I passed up Monday and Tuesday. I got break even on Wednesday, and then Thursday is pretty much where all my profits came from. I took one loss, one win. I finished Thursday up $531, and I actually requested a payout on 3 Top Step accounts. So like this is payout number 1 for $1,001, payout number 2 for $1,001. So like hi Timothy, and then anyway, you guys can see this is January 8th at 8:06, so it's 8:15 hours ago. Another payout for $1,000. So I requested like 3,000 last night from these Top Step accounts. You said, bro, you know what's funny? We took the same trades Wednesday and Thursday. Honestly, that's pretty lit, Vized. My guy Vized taking the same trades as me. I love it. I love to hear it, honestly. But yeah, so there's my 3 payouts. I still haven't traded these alpha accounts yet. I honestly have no idea when I'm going to trade these accounts. But they're chilling there for when I need them. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. So definitely drop any questions if you have them. But also, if you guys aren't in my free Discord, definitely join that. It's linked in my profile or in the pinned comment. And also, if you guys are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. I do have a discount code, which is code TIMB272. It will get you 10% off all evaluations, or if they have some better discount going on, it'll get you that as well. But honestly, overall, I'm pretty happy with the way I played today. Like, honestly, I don't think there's any trades I'm looking back on and thinking, oh, damn, I should have taken that. You said, lock myself out. Take care, man. Get ready for work. See you next week. Yeah, have a good weekend, Vized. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, yeah, why not? I'll lock myself out. I mean, I should start doing this on stream. I never need to, but see, I'll manual lockout all day. Lock me out. So I locked myself out of my Top Step accounts, and then I'll go lock myself out of my Alpha Futures accounts as well. It's a W week. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much got nothing else to say here. So I do appreciate every single one of you guys stopping by. I hope all you guys have an amazing weekend. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I think I just said that. But peace out.